Hi folks, it's your island girl, Chef Raquel Fox, and today I'm so excited for yet another segment on one of my most favorite desserts, mango cheesecake. And who don't love a delicious, silky, decadent cheesecake? Well, mangoes are hands down my most favorite fruit. It happens to be the #1 fruit in the world with nuances of peach, melon, orange. I grew up on this stuff as a child and I ate it by the bags. So when you're choosing mangoes, remember that there are over 500 varieties in the world. So you want to choose a non-fibrous mango like the Kent or Palmer. And today I'm using huge, sweet, and juicy Australian mangoes because it's what the supermarket have, and also some Kent mangoes. Now you can find mangoes in your supermarket all year round, but if you happen to not find them nice and ripe, there's a little technique you can use by just putting mangoes in a bowl and putting overripe bananas on top of them. The gas or the ethylene from the bananas will release over the mangoes and help them to quickly ripen. And if not, you can always go ahead and just purchase frozen mango chunks. It's not the same as fresh because to me fresh is always best, and it gives you a more flavorful cheesecake. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as I demo how to make the best cheesecake in the world. So folks, in getting started, we want to prepare a 10-inch springform pan. And what I did here was basically using a parchment paper, a sheet of parchment paper, just circle around with a pencil, and this is going to be our base on the pan. So we're going to prepare our pan by spraying with some canola oil. We're going to set our parchment paper on top. So now I'm going to place the plate in. Okay, and now that our springform pan is ready, it's now time to make our crust. So here we have our graham cracker crust. At my grocery store, they have honey graham cracker crust already grounded, which is a delicious flavor. So I'm using 4 cups because this is a very big springform pan. I have 2/3 cups of light brown sugar. I have about 2 teaspoons of lime zest that's going to give it that perfect citrus burst. And then I have 1/2 cup of toasted coconut flakes, 1 cup of melted butter. So very simple to make your own graham cracker crust. We're just going to add that to a bigger bowl, add in our brown sugar, our lime zest, and our toasted coconut flakes. We're just going to mix everything around. Of all of this flavor makes an exceptional graham cracker crust for your cheesecake. And now that we have all of our ingredients, we want to add our butter, melted butter. This is about 1 cup. And some people just go ahead and do this in a food processor, but I like mixing pretty much by hand. And you just want it to wet the graham cracker crust enough to where it resembles, you know, small peas. And I would say that is pretty good. So now we want to pack this crust into our springform pan. So I'm just going to go in and put in our wonderful mixture of graham cracker crust. Very flavorful. And we want to really pack this down heavily, so I'm just using my hands, and you want to even out the base of this, pressing from the center and pushing out at the sides. Look at those speckles of toasted coconut, lime zest, yummy. You can go in and use your flat spatula, and the key here, folks, is to just pack it down tightly and firmly. And now that this is nicely compacted into our springform pan, we want to bake this in our preheated oven, 350 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to bake this for about 10 minutes. So we'll be needing to par a mango, and I'm going to quickly demonstrate how this is done. So you want to just cut the bottom off so that we have a resting place for it. It stands firm. And then you want to just go down the sides. Mangoes all peel. There's a seed in the center, and you basically want the meat. So you're going to slide your knife down, going all around. And it's all going in the food processor, but of course you can cut it into chunks. And this is how our graham cracker crust looks. And we're just going to let this cool down while we prepare our filling. So here's our ingredients for our cheesecake filling. I basically have what's equivalent to 4 ripe Kent mangoes all cut up. And we have 2 pounds of cream cheese, 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla. It must be pure vanilla, or you can also use a vanilla bean poured. We have about a cup of granulated sugar, the juice of 1 lemon, and 6 large eggs. So we're going to add our bowl of chopped up mangoes to our food processor. We want to make sure we scrape the sides of the bowl. And I think that will do. So we're going to be pureeing everything in 2 parts. Unless you have a bowl of a food processor that is large enough to fit all the ingredients. I know mine isn't. Mango all nicely pureed. Okay, so now we are going to add our softened cream cheese. And as I mentioned, this is about 2 pounds. You can always use your favorite brand. I know I'm a bit of a brand girl. And we want to add in about half of our eggs. So now I'm going to add our granulated sugar, remaining eggs, vanilla, and the juice of 1 lemon, and continue to puree. And now we can either fold in, or we can add our mango puree to the bowl of the food processor as well and continue to puree. So I might do this half in and then fold the remaining, because as I mentioned, the bowl of my food processor may not allow all ingredients at once. So, as I mentioned, this is about all that will hold into my bowl. So I'm going to transfer this into a stainless steel bowl. Then I'm simply going to fold in the rest of my mango puree. Okay, and now that our mangoes are folded in nicely, it's time to pour this delicious mixture into the crust of our pan. So into the oven, this goes for about 90 minutes until set in the center. You can place this on a baking sheet. I know that some people like to make a water bath because it prevents the cheesecake from cracking, but I've always had good luck with this method, so I'm keeping it simple today. In the oven it goes for 90 minutes. So here we have our delicious, decadent mango cheesecake. I mean, it's glossy, it's just screaming, eat me, but it's just freshly out of the oven, and we really need to let this cool for about 10 minutes before we add our garnish. So I'm just going to let it settle in the springform pan, and let's talk about our garnish. So it's winter, and I don't have my usual fresh edible flowers, which is how I usually like to decorate my cheesecake, as seen on CTV Your Morning on the Loop, so you guys can follow and take a look at that. But my garnish today, I have my delicious mango slices, I have some pomegranate seeds, and of course, for that pop of greenery, I have some fresh mint leaves. And this is a different spin on my garnish today, so I'm gonna channel into my artistic side and see what I come up with. So folks, you have to try this. The cheesecake is smooth as silk on my palate. And the crust, you get that burst of lime, that wonderful burst of coconut and the nuttiness from the graham cracker. A perfect marriage. So until next time, hit that subscribe button. Follow me at Island Gurl Foods, Gurl spelled Gurl. And remember, when it comes to Caribbean cuisine, no one does it better.